Good morning, my Stampin' friends. Hey, everyone, it's Jody Breckville's Stampin' Queen. I am live in my studio this morning, so yay! Come on in and tell me hello. Let me know that you're here. I miss you guys. I feel like my life is in complete upheaval with this big remodel that we have. I've been back and forth between different houses, hosting classes. Can't find a dang thing in my studio, but I am live today and I'm going to share my monthly make and take class with you guys. So hopefully some of you are on and able to join me. I don't see anyone just yet, but hopefully you'll be filtering in here soon. And I am going to just double check and make sure that I am on the correct page, unless somebody comes on and tells me, yes, you can see me, you can hear me, make sure that my streaming is okay. Okay, we do have, all right, yes, it looks like everything is working okay. So I always worry when technology is, it's not my strong suit. So I hope everyone is wonderful today and ready for a fun stamping class using Mixed Media Florals. So I'm going to showcase a couple things while we get ready for friends to come in, but this is a totally free class for you guys. It is going to be recorded. It's live right now. So if you're on with me, hey, if my replay friends are on, make sure you comment replay so that I know that I can come back and say hi to you all. But I do want to tell you about a change that's coming to Facebook, and that is my videos, when I go live, they automatically record and they stay in my Facebook group or on my YouTube channel. So I stream to both. You might be watching on YouTube, you might be watching on Facebook, but they are stored there. And what is going to change with Facebook is that after 30 days, they are going to delete my recording. Okay. So what that means is you will not be able to have like a library of past videos to refer to on Facebook. After 30 days, they'll be gone. So I no longer, you can't go back and look at a previous class or get some different ideas or find a stamp set that you have just purchased and go watch a video for samples. No more referral for classes after 30 days, those will be gone. So not really a huge issue because I have YouTube, friends. I've got YouTube and these videos are stored over on my YouTube channel. So after 30 days, when they are gone from Facebook, they will be on YouTube. So I want to make sure you guys are heading to my YouTube channel and make sure you're subscribed over there so that you can have that library to go back and refer to, or if you took a class or picked up I sell my leftover classes online and I'll refer you back to the video tutorials. So hop over to YouTube, Jody Breckville, Stampin' Queen, same as my name right there. You can subscribe. I will be posting some links periodically that you can click to and head over to YouTube and make sure you're subscribed over there. So that's just a change that Facebook's doing, not a thing I can do about it, but be proactive and send you guys over to my YouTube channel. So let's get playing with Mixed Media Florals. This is an online exclusive, and I'm so sorry. A couple pieces of it are sold out, but you can still get them. They'll be coming in soon. Double stamp set. Here's the dies that come with. Now I'm using some of the dies, but there are dies with this stamp set. There are dies with this one as well, but they're in use also. And then I think the dies are what is sold out at the moment, but they'll be in shortly, like within the next couple of days. This is the embossing folder, which is really hard to see what it will really look like till we actually emboss, but it's painted plaster, I think something similar to that. That's part of it. And then here is some of the designer series paper. This is just half a pack of the DSP. So I did a class on this previously, a monthly creative escape, but I'm also doing it as I like the water, like the, what is that, whitewash on the backside. Love that. And so this is my monthly make and take class that we're going to do. So I host it in person. So yesterday we all went over to my little yellow craft house and we had class over there because we cannot be in my studio right now. It is a complete disaster area. Complete disaster area. So thank goodness I have a craft house. And we went over there and we had class. And now I'm bringing it to you guys virtually. So I hope you love it like we did. So good morning, friends. Carol is here. Darcy, girl. Darcy is here from minus 19 degrees, Montana. You keep it, my friend. You stay warm. That is Chilly Willy the penguin. Who else? Carol's on YouTube. Yay. Betty's here. Colleen is here. I think I saw Lori and Joan and Melinda. Hi, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm so happy to have you here. So we are getting ready to do a little bit of stamping. Hopefully this is not going to be too messy, but I feel like my life in general is just complete mess. It's a short phase. We're going to be okay. Oh my gosh, Lori, minus 27. You Montana people, goodness sake, hardy. Y'all are hardy. It's not too bad here. It's chilly. It's in the teens here in Pennsylvania. But I'm getting ready to do this class. And then girls, I'm going to my girls retreat. Come hell or high water. My girls and I are going to the mountains and we are going to spend Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday together. And so I'm trying to get things wrapped up here, pack up and ship out. All right. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of playing. Do you guys do retreats? Anybody on here do girls weekends away? Because let me tell you how important they are to your life. Now we will be stamping. Some may be scrapbooking. Some may be knitting, quilting, crocheting, whatever they want to do. We will be eating. We will be laughing ourselves sick. It's a good time. A good time. Alrighty, so we're going to start off with this very simple card here. Start simple and then we'll work up to a couple little techniques. So there's our first card using that stamp set, the dies and the DSP. So we've got some petal pink here, a piece of basic white, now, I may have a few of these classes left over. So if you fall in love and you would like to purchase a leftover class, you can message me and let me know. I also always sell the tutorials. So that's something I'm asked quite often is, do you have the tutorials? And yes, I know a lot of you guys are demonstrators. You already have all these things, so you don't need to purchase from me. You have it yourself. So yes, I always sell tutorials, and we're working on a page right now where I will have past tutorials available for sale. So anytime you see something you're like, yes, I love it, you can hop in there and you can grab the tutorial. So, let's see what else. Miracle in Texas. We have 28 in Texas. That's pretty nice. That feels good. -7 in Minnesota, 43 in Washington, 18 in PA. That's where I am. Cindy in Germany. Hello, Germany. Guten Tag, is that correct? I don't want to be disrespectful if I'm speaking the language poorly, but I feel like that might be it. Guten Tag to Germany. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of that DSP and we're going to go wonky. I know some of us, that's a struggle. It's okay. You can put your DSP on crooked. Nothing bad will happen, but it's just going to let a little bit of those colors show through, okay? We have our die. This came from the coordinating set. And we're going to pull in some Calypso coral, channeling some sunny, warm days, Calypso music playing in the background, palm trees, waves. That's what we're channeling. Snowing in West Virginia. See, we need the sun. We need the summer. All right, so I'm so glad we're friends. What a great sentiment, yeah? Oh, Cindy, are you just on vacation in Germany? I was thinking that you were not permanent over there, so maybe you're just on a travel vacation or work maybe. You'll have to ask them how to say hello in German. Anybody else know? I feel like it's Guten Tag and Auf Wiedersehen. That comes from watching Next Top Model. That's how I know these things. -9 in Colorado. Oh, you guys, chilly. All right, so we did our sentiment on here. Then we stamped our little branch and we're going to color that in. That is stamped ahead in Memento. And we're going to do a little bit of Stampin' Blend on that. So we're just going to, Old Olive is the color of choice here. So we're going to color those leaves in quick like a bunny. I was going to do some of this ahead of time and I was like, no, I get asked periodically about coloring and then about cutting. So I'm going to go through it with you all here today. We have some die cutting we're going to do. So I'll show you that in a little bit of coloring with Stampin' Blends. And we're going to pull out my dusty watercolor pencils because I have not used them for quite some time. Oh, Cindy has a new grandbaby. That's why she's in Germany. I love that. How exciting. A new granddaughter. That's so fun for you. And I just ran into a friend today and she has a grandbaby that came in January. And she said, everything you hear is true. I do not have any grandbabies. But she said, everything you say is true. You know, everyone always tells you, wait till the grandchildren come, wait till the grandchildren come. And she said, then she came and I'm smitten, absolutely smitten. So I just put a little bit of dark in there and I'm going to do some blending with the light. This is Old Olive. So we're just add a little bit of color in there. So we've got some texture and some depth and dimension. And then we need to die cut that. So you don't have to fussy cut it. Elizabeth Faith, what a beautiful name. That's wonderful. Love that. So we're going to get out the Baby Boss here and we're going to see if it'll behave for me. And we're going to run this through and die cut out that cute little leaf. I normally would tape this down and make sure that it sticks for me, but I'm in such a state of upheaval in my office. I don't even know where. Oh, I have a piece of Post-it note tape right beside me, so let's use it. Don't waste time making myself frustrated today. Good morning, Susie Snow. These cards will look awfully familiar to you. Susie is an in-person stamper, and so she got to come to class yesterday at the Little Yellow House. So if you don't follow my Little Yellow House, please do. It is Little Yellow House on Facebook, and it is our stamping and crafting retreat space. So we opened it last July. It's one of the houses on our farm, and we have it now as a rental space, but we have it set up so that stampers and crafters and quilters and crocheters, they can all come and hang out at my place. And it is cozy and wonderful, and we love it. So if anyone would like to come take a field trip to Pennsylvania, you can grab some crafty friends and come stay at my place. I would even come and visit you, or I would stay away if that's what you would rather. So dimensionals on here, and look, we get to throw a sheet away. And now, oh, we might throw in, we're gonna work hard at using up the nubbins today, guys. Let's use up all these nubbins. Now, these are perfect because I need just some of these little pieces right on the edge. They are perfect to fit right in there on this little plant or leaf or whatever he is. Okay, so now we're just going to kind of frame that. That one's sticking out a little farther than I wanted it to. So I'm going to put that down here. So we're just taking that leaf element and just framing. Okay. So there, a super easy card, starting off super easy. It looks like my ink pad needs juiced. It was working hard yesterday. We had a full house. Yes, it's been wonderful. It's been a labor of love, Carol, our Little Yellow House. It has been destroyed in the past by poor renters that are very disrespectful. And it took us 7 years to get a contractor who we trusted and to get it all fixed up. But it's up and running. Of course, COVID was in there too. So we had 3 years where we couldn't even get anyone in to help us because of COVID. But it's up and ready now. So check it out on Little Yellow House. Little Yellow House on Facebook. And then there is a link there to my website that has lots of pictures of the inside of it too. But it is a cutie little house on one of our farms here in Fayetteville, Pennsylvania. All right, so here we are with Misty Moonlight and our basic beige, and we're going to do just some color. Now, this is a fun stamp to color in, but I just went with a monochromatic look. So basic beige for the base. Then ahead of time, there's Misty Moonlight, and there is that embossing folder. Okay, so there, as I told them yesterday, there is no front or back. It's just whatever you like. So it's very, very thick textured. Like this is what my ceilings look like. I don't know what they call that, but this is what they look like. They kind of have like that plaster butter, maybe I think it's called. Okay, so we're going to add that on, and it's up to you which side you prefer. You cannot go wrong. So I will add this to my card base. Lots of texture going on here. I really like this color combo with the basic beige and the blue and the white. So this piece is one of the dies, and I would suggest a little dab will do you when it comes to this. Now, if I were doing this as my focal piece, I would probably have run this through with adhesive sheets and then made the whole thing a sticker and peeled the adhesive sheets off. A lot of it is going to be covered up by the daisy. So I'm just going to do a little dab will do me, and I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on here where the daisy will end up covering it up. So some of it's kind of free form, really. So we'll add that down here. I'm going to line it up at the bottom. And then we're going to stamp our daisy in Misty Moonlight. And we'll be able to die cut that out. While we have, there's another little guy from the die set. That doesn't fit. Find the right one. Okay, for a great friend. So this kind of is a friendship centered stamp, which I like. Because this could be for a great friend, could be for whatever. It could be birthday, anniversary. There's also a sympathy saying in here as well as an anniversary. So a bunch of different sentiments for this one. All right, let's get the baby boss out again and do a little die cutting. So we don't have to fussy cut. Yay for that. We will here in a minute. And I'll tell you my story about this die fussy cutting that we're about to do here on one of the last cards. Okay, so far everything seems quiet here at my house. I was concerned because they're finishing up the flooring, and there's a lot of saws going on today. And I thought, oh no, hopefully we'll be able to do my Facebook Live and it won't be too obnoxious with all the songs. So if you're following along on Facebook, you know we're in a big kitchen. Well, it's actually a whole downstairs remodel in our 200-year-old farmhouse. So things were a little slow for a couple days. It was on Monday. It was 3 weeks. 3 weeks since we gutted everything and are starting from scratch. And it's moving along pretty good. We don't have too many complaints. Is it stressful? Yes. Many of you all have done the same thing. Living in the dust and the dirt and the chaos is a little frustrating, but we're making do. So yesterday was electric, boogie woogie, and flooring was put in. So they're going to wrap up the flooring today, and we love the floor. That was stressing us out because we had to cover up our original hardwood floors, our 200-year-old hardwood floors. And it's so hard to pick out flooring because you don't know. They give you that tiny little piece. I mean, literally, they're like, here's your piece of flooring. See if you like that in the entire downstairs of your house. And I'm like, I can't do this. So God bless technology. There was an app that we took a picture, and then we could lay down the floor and see what we liked and what we originally thought we both loved. We put it down in the app and hated it. So we're very happy with our floor. So we got that. The cabinets are all done, and we picked out our door handles, which was another stress. We just were like, oh my gosh, who knew that picking out door handles was going to be so incredibly stressful? So we love that. And I think I shared a picture. So dimensionals for there, and we're going to do dimensionals for our great friend as well. Lots of pop. Look what we did. We got rid of another one. So we went with LVP for sure, which we knew that's what we were doing, Joan. We for sure wanted the what is that? Something vinyl LVT. Is that what it is? I think some sort of like a vinyl. It looks like wood, but it goes together in like interlocking planks. And I took the advice of many of you who said, don't go for one that's like really gritty and grainy, you know, or has like the lumps and the bumps because they're hard to clean. So, and we have a dog, and he's very big and he's very drooly. And so I didn't want anything that was harder to clean than it needed to be. You need to scoot this one just a little bit. I'm going to put that there. And I can't think of the color, but it was way lighter than we planned. And I think that's a good thing because it lets the cabinets really pop. Some of the ones that we really, really thought we liked, we put them down in the app, and we just kind of lost the cabinets, and we thought they're so pretty. We should have them really showcased. And we're going with black sinks, black hardware, black lighting. So that, because my walls are light, the floor is light, and we still want that farmhouse look, right? So card number 2. All right. Moving on to number 3. The sawing has begun. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but we're going to still go for it. Okay, so this is a fun little technique we got going on here. And do I have my pieces? Let's hope I do. All right, so here it is. I used 3 different color squares, like a color match. You could pick any colors. You could do pinks. You could do yellows. I stole this idea from somebody. You face it, guys. I steal my ideas from a lot of somebody's. I feel like it might be Jamie Barbasi, but I'm not 100%. But anyway, I did Pool Party, Lost Lagoon, and Pretty Peacock. So we're going to stamp these squares. And there's that embossing folder again. Better example on white. That's what I was thinking too, Carol. Carol says that dark floors show pet hair. I was trying, but light floors. So he's very drooly, this dog, very drooly. So I know that I'm going to see watermarks on my floor. This is just how it's going to be, but we will deal with that. So we're going to take these squares, and I'm pretty sure they are 1.5 by 1.5. And we're going to put them, I'm using the silicone mat. We want them to be nice and tight against each other. No space, no air in between. Okay, so you have them nice and tight with each other. They're not glued down. You don't want anything else near them. And we're going to use our Pretty Peacock. Now, one of these pads, I had 2 pads at camp or at class yesterday. One of these pads was so juicy, juicy, juicy. I don't know if it's this one or not. So we're going to ink up our tulips and we're going to stamp them on those squares. Okay, now you're going to play a fun game called Puzzle, and you're going to try and put those squares. We're going to match them back up again. In the meantime, I have this itty teeny tiny bitty bitty thank you. So we're going to stamp that on there. Thank you. In the pretty peacock, and we're going to close it because it's so juicy. I don't want an accident. Okay, so now let's get this out of the way too before I put my arm right in it. This is going to be white on white for this card so that we can really let those colors pop. So we've got our white card base here. We're going to add our white embossed piece. One thing I will caution you on, if you use Seal or Seal Plus with this embossing folder, I find that sometimes the adhesive will tear the cardstock because it kind of weakens the fibers when you run it through the embossing folder. And since this is a 3D folder, it's very thick to get that textured look. So just be careful when you're rolling that adhesive. You don't want to tear the cardstock. Okay. Now we've got a piece of white and we need to figure out where these suckers go. So let's put them back together, see if it works. Looking good so far. Looking good in the neighborhood. Okay, so now what I did was I put some dimensionals on some. If you would like, making this project at home, you can put dimensionals on all of them and have the whole thing raised up. But I just did opposites so that I really see even more depth to them. You could also glue them down flat if you would rather not have any depth to it. Okay, so I need to just kind of eyeball things a little bit. I want to have a little bit of white in between, letting that kind of look like it's framing it, you know. So I'm kind of looking to see how I want it to go here. And then I'm going to just gently pull one of those off. Green glue would be your friend here if you have any of that. I'm not sure where mine is at the moment, so we're going to not have the green glue today. So that one's going down flat. This one will go down with dimension. I think you might be right, Darcy. I think you might very well be right that you are in one of the warmer parts of the country today. Could change tomorrow, right? We never know what happens with February. We were very concerned because there was some call for some snow issues. And we have, as I mentioned, we have girls retreat this weekend. And I was like, oh, please, not a snow event. And fortunately, it has moved south and we should all be fine. I don't care if we get snowed in. That's like the dream. Get us there safely and then snow us in. We don't care. But the getting there can be the hard part, you know, and I don't want any of my girls to have any issues while we're traveling to retreat. So here we go. So I've got girls retreat this weekend. I come home and I have another retreat the following weekend. Then I go on vacation. Then I come home and I will be going right to On Stage. Any of you guys demonstrators that are going to On Stage in Raleigh, North Carolina this time around? Okay, isn't that cool? What do you think? So these are 1.5 inch squares, and then I just layered it on a mat of white. And I'm going to put that onto my card with dimensionals, just so we have even more pop and dimension. So use those dimensionals. So we'll be traveling. I will be traveling with some of my team to Raleigh. So I'm excited about that and to see my demonstrator friends also. Hopefully it'll be warm there. Okay, there we are. Now, final step, we've got our little bitty thank you, and I'm going to do just a little tiny bit of adhesive on there. And I have some white baker's twine. Susan is going to Onstage. Awesome. Are you excited? Have you been to Onstage before? I guess I should ask. I know we have a lot of new people coming because of the Close to My Heart friends are coming to Onstage. So very excited about that. All right, so we've got just a little bow there. We're going to tie that or stick that to the back, and then I'm going to add that with a couple more dimensionals. And I'm going to use the little itty bitty dimensionals. They work just perfect for that. Oh my gosh, you're going alone? That's kind of cool. You won't be alone. You're actually going. Traveling alone. But once you get there, there's going to be thousands of people who love the same thing you love. So it'll be so much fun. And you're going to be like, I know how I am when I get there. All these demonstrators I follow online, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm fangirling. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so-and-so and there's so-and-so. It's like, you know, being in the celebrity world. I'm really excited about it. All right, so there is, I did a couple of gems here, but I'm all out of those. Those are the pretty peacock gems. Don't have any more of those, but there is that cool like tile card. Okay, if you're still with me, we got one last card and we're bringing in, I know my purple friends are there. We love purple. So, all right, we got a lot of dimensionals we want to use up here. Okay, so we are going to do the watercolor pencils. So if you have them, get them out. This is what we're going to be creating with the watercolor pencils. Now, you could use Stampin' Blends if you choose. You could use markers if you choose, whatever your color medium is. But I wanted to use watercolor pencils because I haven't used them for such a long time. So we've got, yet again, I went crazy with this. So there's that good old embossing folder that you can't get at the moment, but it's okay. It'll come back. Have no worries. So we're doing tone on tone with Gorgeous Grape. All right. Oh, Susan, you're going to have so much fun. So excited for you. All righty. There we are. Now we've got a piece of white, and this is just basic white. That's all I used. I did not, oh shoot. Do I have a stamp cleaner here? We need to clean that. Big tulip. Ah, I don't, but I have baby wipes. I'm going to grab them. Hold on. Hold, please. I don't usually like to use baby wipes on my stamps, but desperate times call for desperate measures, you know? So we're going to use baby wipes today because all my stuff has been packed up between doing class at the Yellow House, the mess I have here, and packing for retreat. Baby wipes it is. So I will say my suggestion, if you use baby wipes, I don't like them because you get a lot of the fuzz on your stamps, which then go onto your ink pad, and I do not like that. I do like baby wipes for wiping the block, but not necessarily my stamps, so I'm very careful when I use them. All right, Memento, because we have to do some watercoloring. So, Memento it is. Look at how stained that stamp is from Pretty Peacock. That is crazy. That's how juicy my stamp set or my ink pad was. All right, so let's get that ink on there so we can do some watercoloring. Carol's asking if I have to go far for retreat. About 40 minutes. So not far at all, but it's up in the mountains, which we love. So some of the girls do travel a little bit farther, but I have about 40 minutes. So not bad at all. Now, while I've got some things out there, I'm just going to let that set for just a couple seconds. We're going to stamp our sentiment in Gorgeous Grape on Highland Heather. And I have to clean that one too, again with baby wipes. Baby wipes on the red rubber, not as problematic as the photopolymer because that tends to be a little bit sticky. But you can see like there's all that fuzz on there. So I really am not a huge fan of baby wipes on my stamp. But got to do what you got to do. Okay, so we have For a Great Friend. And now it's time to do some coloring. All right, so when working with the watercolor pencils, some people, actually, I'm going to do a little bit more stamping while it's here so I can move some things out of the way. These little ladybugs are totally adorable. They are in the stamp set. They also have dies with them, but, uh-oh, we're missing, oh, there they are. They're hiding. I can cut these suckers out faster myself with my scissors than to try to spend 20 minutes in some bad words, having those little teeny tiny dies moving all over my plate. So I am going to hand cut them, but you could use dies if you need to. There are dies for them. So that's a blessing. But for me, it was a curse because I was like, I don't have time for this. I can cut them faster. I ain't got time for that. Did I just throw my sentiment away? I may have. Goodness sake, I'm getting crazy. Crazy pants. All righty. So here's watercolor pencils. They look just like regular pencils, don't they? You can decide when you color. Some people like them. Some people like them sharp. Some people like them dull. So I do have a sharpener that I always have with me. And when you do watercolor pencils, you are going to just scribble. So I'm kind of taking my purple one, which is Gorgeous Grape, and I'm just coloring in the center of these little flowers here. I'm going to do something a little different than the first one because some of the girls changed the colors yesterday. And I was like, oh, I like that. So I'm going to go super dark here in the center. A little bit of pressure on there because you can always add more color, but you can't take color away, you know? But the thing to keep in mind is you do not have to sit and tediously color every single detail. Scribble it. Okay. So we're going to take the green and I'm just going to go in here and I'm just going to scribble. Okay. You do not have to color these all in. That's the beauty of a watercolor pencil. Scribble, 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 scribble. Because what we're going to do, these are made to bleed. So we're going to take a water medium or water source here, which that is, again, your choice, right? Is, okay, what did I have there? Garden green. This one is olive. So I'm going to do my stems a little bit different here, just so I have some color change. Also, suggestion to those who are using them at home. Sometimes your pencils, like they do the best that they can, but the colors aren't always exact. You know, like this one looks like it should be like an evergreen color, but it actually is garden green. So I always have like a little scrap piece of paper and you can just scribble on that just as a tester to make sure that it's coming out the color that you want. Okay, then I'm going to do yellow. Hello. We're going to have yellow tulips. Well, yes, Daffodil Delight tulips. I really like those. Now mine, the first card, I did them in purple. Okay. You're just scribbling. That's it. So scribble on that. Oh, ladybugs. We need to color ladybugs. Do we have a red? Yep, we sure do. So I'm just going to color these bugs. And then I'll hand cut them later. Okay. Now, I stamped with Memento. Okay. Memento can bleed. It's the stamp of, or it's the ink of choice with Stampin' Blends. Okay. The alcohol markers. It's not always the ink of choice when you're going to use a wet medium. Okay. Because it can bleed. So what I did was I give it a little bit of time to sit, and then I'm careful when I do my blending. So I have blender pens here. Blender pens come in a pack of 3. They have dual tips. So we were talking about this last night. Sometimes I don't use them enough and they dry out. So if you have a friend, you could divvy up a pack of Stampin' Blends. Get the 3 blends, give each person buys 1, and you go to town. So some of mine are a little drier than others, but these have a solution in them. Can you refill them? Your choice. I will tell you, if you Google, you may find that you can refill your blender pens, but you have to pull off the nub and put the solution inside. So whether you want to do that, totally up to you. The other thing that you can use are the water painters, and the water is actually in this barrel. There is a sponge in here and then a paintbrush. So carefully, you have control of how wet you want that to be. So my suggestion when you are using a water painter is to have a piece of paper towel with you so that you can dab off and pull off if it's too much water, because you don't want water everywhere, and that can happen. I do like these. I have a tissue. That's what we're going to work with because I don't have a paper towel close by. So let's go ahead. Since we've got a small space here, let's do these ladybugs. So carefully, you are going to just take that blender pen and go over what you stamped, but being careful that you don't bleed the Memento. Okay, so sometimes I do it as kind of like a little bit of a dotted area, and there we have our little ladybugs are colored in. I will cut those out later. Now change color. I'm just going to dab it on a paper towel or a piece of paper, and I'm going to go in and color these purples. So what's happening is that watercolor pencil is bleeding with the solution that's in the blender pen. If I come closer, can you see better? I don't know what's easier for you. So these pencils work a little different than regular colored pencils where you would have to actually color in. Okay, can you see how they bled? All right, so check out this. Look at this one. See how I just scribbled on it? Let's go ahead and bleed it. And you have a nice light watercolor effect. But again, being careful around those edges. Okay, can you see the difference there? Isn't that cool? So let's go ahead and do this one. So I'm just watching how close I'm getting to the edge. But I really liked, wait till you see the yellow tulips on the purple. It really comes out pretty cool. Okay. Now, one thing we want to be careful of is we don't want to cut water over top, because unlike Stampin' Blends, this will wet your cardstock too much and it will start to break it down. So we do have to be very careful on that. This does give a different look. It's a little bit more pastel-y, I would say, a little bit more watercolory. But I loved watercolor pencils back in the day. And then the Stampin' Blends came and they just, I fell in love, and I was like, everything I color is with watercolor or Stampin' Blends, but we pulled these guys out. So let's go ahead and do our green here. So I just did Old Olive for the stem. Now, what you could do is once your paper has fully dried, if you need to change color or add more color, you could do that. Oh, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's just paper, Lori. You can always just get more. All right, so now we're going to bleed the green. And some of the beauty in this is that watercolor look. So it doesn't have to be perfection. And I think we get stalled sometimes there. We're like, oh my gosh, it has to be perfect. Nah. Perfect is overrated. Okay, so see how it's coming along? The other thing that these pencils have going for them is we have a white pencil. So this works great on darker cardstock or black cardstock. You have a white pencil. So that's another technique, is you could stamp and emboss on black or navy or a dark cardstock and grab that white watercolor pencil and go to town. That's kind of a cool look too. The other thing that you can do with them is you can actually color. I think you can color the water. You can color these pencils onto an embossed. So if you stamp something embossed in white, you can add color to the white embossing powder with Stampin' Blends. And I think you can use these watercolor pencils. It's been a long time since I've done that, but I remember doing a lot of different techniques with this. Okay, there's a couple places that I missed. So let's go back in and fill in. I forgot this guy right here. And there was something else. Oh, this side right there. There we go. Okay, now if I wanted to, and I do, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to add some of the highlighting to that black image. So just helping it pop a little bit more. So I don't have to shade it. I mean, I don't have to go back in and re-wet it. I'm just adding a little bit of shade area. But if you wanted to, you could go back in and blend it some more. All right, so what do you think? Watercolor pencils, yay or nay? All right, Susie says you can wet the tip of the pencil as well. So if you had a water source, you could wet the tip of the pencil, she says. All righty, tips and tricks. Love it. All right, so now I'm going to take a little bit of twine here and add that. No, I'm not, because I don't. Oh, yes, I have scissors. Things are missing so much from my house. All right, so let's add a little bit of twine on here so we can wrap up this project. Some of you guys may have these watercolor pencils hanging out in your studios and haven't used them. If you're like me, you haven't used them in quite some time. So get them out, have a play day, invite them over to play. So I'm going to add, whoopsie, this one doesn't want to stick. Let's add some dimensionals to the back of this. The other thing that I think, once this would be totally dry, I think it would be soup. Why are you not sticking? Because it's user error. You're not putting adhesive on your card. It's just pretending. Okay, dimensional to hold it down. Behave. Where was I going with my thought? Come on back, thought. I wonder what it was. Oh, wouldn't that be pretty with Winkostella? Yes, put a little Winkostella on it. Get your winkers out and make your little flowers so shiny and pretty and shimmery. So what a fun spring card, Easter card, or general all occasion card. Okay, then our sentiment we're going to put on, then we're going to put on our ladybugs. So what do you think, yellow or blue or purple? Don't the yellow flowers just pop? I really like that with the accent of purple behind there. I really, really like that. I think these leaves I did in Old Olive and Gorgeous Grape. This one was Garden Green, Yellow, and Daffodil. So, and see the little ladybugs on there? Cute, right? All right, so let's check out what we made. We did the watercolor pencil card. We did the tile card. We have the monogram and monochromatic, and then we have that really easy one using a little bit of the DSP. So there is your February monthly make and take. I would sneak peek normally here, guys, but I got nothing. I'm like, I don't know where anything is. It's just, if you could see my studio, oi. So I would sneak peek some things, but here's what I will tell you. I have a monthly creative escape coming up focusing on country flowers. I have a class coming up featuring nature's botanicals. Oh, I can show those. Hold, please. Okay, so I have a class that's going to use these two. Elements of Text and Nature's Botanicals. This is a freebie during celebration. So you could grab that yet this month free with your $60 purchase and get ready for class. And then Elements of Text. That's a great one. Yeah. So I have some, that's in plan. And then my Creative Escape, I'm going back to the annual catalog with Country Flowers. Love this. Love it. So that's what I'm going to work on this weekend. That's coming up for March classes. I have a special class that's coming up with the toadstools. So stay tuned for that one. And April, a mystery box is coming. You guys loved my mystery box. So yes, a mystery box is coming in April featuring the Storybook Friends Suite. And then we have our Sweet Grace Ministries fundraiser is coming up in April. And that's what I'm working on quickly. So I think a lot of you guys supported that last year. Many of you have heard me talk about Sweet Grace Ministries. And I'll put you're saying no ladybugs on this one? Like, don't put ladybugs on this one? Is that what you're saying, Joan? I'll put them on later, but I didn't. Yeah. So this one has the ladybugs. So Sweet Grace Ministries, April 12th. If you are local, you can come stamp with us in person, or you can get to-go kits, because I know a lot of you guys just are not able to be in Pennsylvania, but we have a to-go kit, and the proceeds from that fundraiser are all going towards Sweet Grace Ministries. We did it last year and raised a couple $1,000s, and that's the goal again this year. So stay tuned, my friends. I got lots being planned. So hopefully, if all goes smoothly, I will see you guys next Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, and maybe I'll have a finished kitchen. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to hop over to YouTube, Jody Breckbill, Stampin' Queen on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe so that we're ready for these changes that are coming to Facebook. And if you were catching the replay, thanks so much for joining us. All right, my friends, love you all. Stay safe. See you next week.